Yeah, against this right back, Charlie. That's right.
There's always just that act when defenders are being given like.
People deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian, man. Come on.
People deluded, I'm back again. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and in some cases, good night. I hope you're doing well and safe. I hope you're all blessed. I appreciate all the support you give my channel, and I'm appreciative of everything we've been able to amass together. 52,000 odd subscribers on YouTube and counting, over 6K on Twitch. Make sure you're cross-following, and not only that, and all the socials. As I said, I hope you're doing well and safe. Hope you're having a productive week with the first week of January coming to a close, or better yet, the first week of the year. Happy New Year's. I hope you're having a progressive week, and I hope you and your loved ones are all in good health. Smash the like button, comment and subscribe, turn on your notifications, check out the YouTube playlist. As you already know, we are in January. Again, in terms of Arsenal and Mudryk, that seems to be the primary transfer link, and then every now and again there's a couple of other names. And today, across the course of this live stream or video, better yet, people, we've been linked with Kudus of Ghana and Ajax. We've been linked with Declan Rice of West Ham. We've actually been linked with Lozano of Napoli, Vlahovic of Juventus, and if there's anything else, Ferran Torres, and we'll circle back and go over all of it. Smash the like button, get your thoughts in. Let's crack on, people. Now, it's a long saga where Mudryk is concerned. 1 minute Chelsea are hijacking, Arsenal are making progress, then we're not. It's one that's going to drag out because a number of moving parts. Go onto my YouTube channel and go and see the video I did with a Ukrainian football expert, Andrew of Zora, London, where we spoke about the likelihood of Mudryk happening, the moving parts, actually his strengths and weaknesses, and everything regarding him, people. Shakhtar Donetsk are expected to decline a second bid from Arsenal for star Mudryk, CBS Sports understands. Shakhtar are aiming for a total bid north of $80 million, it says here, while the Gunners' second bid was around $70 million dollars. I keep saying euros, so it seems like we're 10 odd million apart, people. So we might be making progress in that regards. As we know, allegedly dialogue is still happening between both Shakhtar and Arsenal to get this move over the line. Should Arsenal stick or twist in relation to Mudryk? Now, Charles Watts has added on. He said the Gunners have bid 62 million for the 21-year-old winger. I think he's 22 today. But Shakhtar want much more, with Chelsea also entering the picture. And with them failing at this moment in time to get Enzo Fernandez, do they turn different position, but do they turn their attention towards this? How high will Arsenal go for Mudryk? That's the big question that looks set to dominate the January transfer window for the Gunners. And it's true, at what point are we going to say enough's enough and walk away if that is the case? But the 21-year-old winger is the Premier League leaders' primary target as they look to bolster their attacking options ahead of the second half of the season. 2 bids have already been made, but both have received the same response from Shakhtar: no deal. Talks are continuing, but as it stands, both clubs remain miles apart when it comes to the valuation. So far, Arsenal have offered a package including I'm skipping ahead a bit, 74 million euros, people. The total package is alleged to be worth 62 million quid. Shakhtar remain adamant, however, that their star man will not leave for anything less than 88 million pounds, $106 million. Goal has also learned that the Ukrainian outfit have made it known they will have no issue postponing talks until the summer, because there's a variety of reasons. He could stay, keep performing, and his price tag goes up. It's already ballooned from the summer. He would obviously help them achieve whatever they're trying to do from a sporting front, and he's contracted until 2025 or 2026. So they're in a very strong negotiating position, no matter how much Mudryk likes things on Instagram, gives interviews, and Arsenal won't go away in terms of bids. As it said here, it's a game of poker between the two clubs, and Arsenal's hopes have not been helped by Chelsea entering the picture. Mudryk's preference is to join Arsenal. He has made that publicly clear, but the Blues have the financial capacity to potentially blow their London rivals out the window when it comes to offering what Shakhtar are demanding, people. So we'll have to see exactly what's going on. Mikel Arteta, in terms of transfer, said we are trying to improve the squad in every window. This is no different. We'll do our best because we cannot waste any window with the squad numbers that we have. And obviously, with games coming thick and fast, with suspensions, injuries, fatigue for a variety of reasons now starting to play a part. Obviously, off the bench, it would have been nice to have some attacking players to bring off the bench. Of significance against Newcastle. Obviously, you're kind of hoping Reece Nelson and Smith Rowe get back fit sooner rather than later. Jesus the same. And obviously, if you bring in Mudryk, those are 4 attacking players that make our bench stronger from an attacking sense. We look decent in terms of being able to see out games with historically this season, Tomiyasu, Tierney, El Nene, and the luxury of maybe going with a back 3 to see out games with Holding. We don't really have options when it comes to, chasing the game or breaking teams down. And for the large part, we've scored in every game this season. But the one time we needed to break down Newcastle, probably needed some fresh legs. We couldn't. Now, Mikel Arteta signed someone like Fabio Vieira for 30-odd million quid, so you have to use him. But again, at the time, I think with Zinchenko, Xhaka, Odegaard, and, Vieira a bit more inverted, I think against Newcastle, it could have helped because he could have played centrally or drifted into central areas, but it probably would have offset the balance. With what you read about Mudryk, he appears pretty direct, good on the counter-attack, able to stretch defenders, able to provoke havoc for defenders or opposition defenders. He can drift inside and link up play. He wants to cut in on his right foot. He can take you down the channels, and it would just make us a stronger outfit because Saka and Martinelli, like Smith Rowe last season as well, they can do the business, but it's probably naive to expect these 21-year-olds to have a great game every game of the 38 calendar where the Premier League is concerned. And also you've got the FA Cup and the Europa League to come into fray. So hopefully by the time we next play in the Premier League against Spurs, there's some good news, but who really knows, really and truly. Obviously, you've got Eddie Nketiah who could start or be on the bench if Jesus is injured as well. So potentially Eddie Nketiah, Fabio Vieira, asterisk next to the name Mudryk, Smith Rowe, Reece Nelson, gives us a somewhat stronger bench, 5 attacking players, really and truly. We have to find a balance, but you get the point. So we'll have to see, really and truly. In short, it comes down to putting the P's down or we don't get the player. And, he has played 24 times in the league for Shakhtar, made only 44 appearances for Shakhtar the next for all his talent. And I think when you factor in his loans, it gets you towards 70-odd career appearances. So there's a lot to like about him, but there's a lot that he needs to improve on. There's a lot of rough edges. He looks like a rough diamond, really and truly, for all this Ukrainian Neymar and the best in his position apart from Vinicius and Mudryk, and all the praise to Shakhtar, the Shakhtar CEO and director and all of them guys give him. So we'll have to specifically see what's going on in that regards, people. For what it's worth, Romano has said he's prepared to join. Apparently he's given his word that he'll join Arsenal. And again, words mean nothing in life, especially in business. If you haven't got it down in writing, if there's not legal sanctions, if you don't follow through, anything can happen, really. So Campbell said he's staying at Spurs. Willian had a medical at Spurs and then cut out. And there's been many other tales of all clubs to tell within that relations, people. We know allegedly he's got his heart set on Arsenal, according to Romano. Fabrizio has said there is still no agreement between Arsenal and Shakhtar. The second bid was not accepted. This is why there's no agreement. Then there is the player side. The player side is very clear. Mudryk wants to go to Arsenal as a priority. This is no secret, but Arsenal have to be fast. Otherwise, Chelsea will push. The player wants Arsenal, but that doesn't mean the player is turning down all clubs in the world to wait for Arsenal. Let's see what happens in the next few days. Arsenal have a chance to close the deal. They have the player with his word, prepared to join Mikel Arteta, to join the club and dreaming of the club. So we'll have to see specifically what these things say, people. But it is what it is. Chelsea hold an interest, apparently, in Mudryk, as we already know, although he prefers a move to Arsenal. If that fails to materialise, then he will still be joining a Premier League team in a London club, but it'll be the boys in blue and not the Cannons, people. So it is what it is. Long story short, again, we know allegedly a second bid totaling around 62 million has been rejected. That's our second bid after we made a bid in the region of 50 million. We know allegedly Chelsea are monitoring situations, but haven't currently placed a bid. Chelsea hold an interest, but the feeling from sources is he has his heart set on joining Arsenal. What's going on with me today? And we expect that to happen. It feels a bit like Chelsea could be being used to get Arsenal to pay up for him, but that's my opinion. That they could get him, they could be utilised for that. Arsenal and Chelsea were taking around the houses for Rafinha. We know Chelsea did try and get involved in Richarlison and Gabriel Jesus, and it did not work. But money talks. The one benefit is that we've actually bidded. We're actively in talks. Direct talks with Shakhtar. It appears that Chelsea are in indirect talks talks and monitoring the situation. But they could put their foot down, and they clearly under Todd Burhey, you know, the London Cowboys, as there was rumors they were going to be named soon, could kind of trump us in that. But again, if he's given his word, hopefully we do what we need to do where Mudryk's concerned. But if we don't get him, as long as there's other targets, who really gives a flying monkeys, really? So that's that. Fabrizio Romano's also provided an update on Ferran Torres, people. I want to see specifically what's said. Barcelona want to keep Ferran Torres. There are currently no negotiations for him. Their aim is to keep the same squad until the end of the season, then change some players again in July. So again, that kind of quashes Arsenal's links, people. We have been linked with Ferran Torres for a hot minute, if I'm completely honest. Todd Burhey is believed to have scheduled talks over Mudryk, who has agreed personal terms with Arsenal. Interest in the winger has echoes of the bid for Rafinha, who only ever wanted to join Barcelona, and a late inquiry over Richarlison, who joined Tottenham. I mean, I ain't got much love for Chelsea or Tottenham, but I wouldn't join Spurs over Chelsea, but it is what it is. You look at the league table, that might say something different. Arsenal have been also linked with Lozano, people. He was linked with us in United from his PSV days. Kind of gone off the boil at Napoli, if I'm honest, really. You know, he's a decent player, not really hit the heights. Hasn't really impressed me for Mexico or Napoli consistently. You know, he has got a lot of strengths, is quite strong 1v1, has the capacity to score goals. With him just being a wide man, it makes sense that, you know, to link us with him, because we have to be looking at people across the country, really, or the world, really. You know, we've been linked with a variety of targets. Primarily, it's Mudryk. There was Jeremy Pino. There was Pedro Neto. There is Lozano. You know, there is Fogando Torres, Ferran Torres. There's a bunch of them, really and truly. This article actually is behind a paywall. You have to subscribe. So that's looking like a myth for us, people. So read into that specifically what you want. We've also been linked with Declan Rice. Arsenal set to make a shock summer bid for 88 million rated West Ham midfielder Declan Rice, and mid-links to Chelsea and Man United. Arsenal are reportedly eyeing up a shock move for the West Ham star Declan Rice. He's valued at 88 million. Now, I don't think we'll get him. He seemed like he had his heart set on Chelsea. United could bid for him, and also City. But for what it's worth, admittedly, them sort of fees, considering his contract is running down and West Ham look a bit woeful, you know, I would take the West Ham captain. He's English, he's homegrown. There's a lot of, you know, he could grow with the English contingent and the young players. Obviously, he's Premier League proven. He's got a great mentality. He's a lot better technically than people give him credit for. He is that kind of long-term replacement for Partey, people. And obviously, it would pay for itself in years to come. But my personal opinion, them sort of fees would be a reduced fee, because he's contracted until 2024 at West Ham, would be a reduced fee. But them kind of fees, I'd rather spend on an 8 or a winger or a striker, just generally, because they're more match winners. Surely you can shop abroad. And I'm not saying Declan Rice isn't a good player, or you can find someone on par with him, but for his skill set and what he brings to the team, surely you can cut the costs in an educated way. But for what it's worth, bring him to the carpet. Obviously, he's got a couple of England teammates in Benjamin White, Bukayo Saka, Aaron Ramsdale. Technically, Smith Rowe's been called up. He knows Eddie Nketiah from them Chelsea days, although he tried to fight him last season. Bring him to the carpet, but he'll be a player in high demand. And I mean, a Spanish outlet reporting on this, I'm not too sure on the credibility of such people. As I was saying, I'm not too sure on the credibility of such people. In that regards, people. I don't know where that article's gone. That was a bit annoying. But anyways, a bit frazzled there. Arteta is reportedly keen on bringing the midfielder to the club ahead of the 2023-24 season. He's valued at 88 million, people. David Moyes said last summer it would take Bank of England money to convince West Ham to sell. Obviously, West Ham are going through a transitional period, and it does feel like he's gone as far as he has at West Ham, provided that they don't turn things around. He spoken about wanting to play Champions League football and join a better club, which Arsenal and a number of these teams are. His contract is up next season, people, so they're going to have to really make a decision on him, if I'm completely honest with you. And he's also 23 years of age and with a wealth of experience. And obviously, El Nene's getting on a bit. He's clearly better than Sambi Lokonga. It just makes sense, really and truly, if I'm completely honest with you, people. So, yeah, it all depends what you read of that. Arsenal, once again, have been linked with Declan Rice, as you can see in this, people. On Football.London, Arsenal are eyeing up a swoop for the England international. West Ham could be forced to sell in the summer following their poor season, and also his contract, people. Allegedly, Ben Jacobs has said, yes, 100%. Well, sorry, Ben Jacobs is the one primarily saying that Arsenal are looking at a move for this. But apparently Declan Rice previously said, yes, 100%, I want to play in the Champions League. For the last 2 or 3 seasons, I've been saying that. I've been playing well for my club, and I really feel like I want to keep pushing. I see my friends here with England at the World Cup in brackets who are playing in the Champions League and competing for big trophies. You only get one career, and at the end of it, you want to look back at what you've won and the biggest games you've played in. I really want to do that. And obviously Chelsea, Arsenal, Manchester United, all could potentially, Manchester City, all could potentially provide him with such, providing all these teams get into the Champions League. Mudryk is still doing up socials, people. He liked an Instagram post where it's him in jail, obviously in relation to Shakhtar not really freeing the guy and letting him join Arsenal, people. So he's doing the most. He does strike me as someone that does like TikTok and all those things and Instagram and talking on these things. So yeah, he's 21. It's to be expected. Smash the like button, people. Turn on your notifications. Comment your opinions and make sure you're checking out my Mudryk comments, in particular Andrew of Zora London. We spoke about everything Mudryk a few days ago. So for your Mudryk stuff, go over there. So yeah, we dealt with that. Dortmund are seen as the front runners for Mohamed Kudus, people, but if reports are to be believed, Arsenal are also looking, people. According to Plattenberg, the attacking midfielder from Ajax is aware of the interest from Dortmund in previous reports. It was said that a move to Dortmund would appeal to him. According to Plattenberg, loose talks have been held so far, but no concrete negotiations have taken place. In addition to Borussia Dortmund, however, other clubs are interested in Kudus. Plattenberg mentions Arsenal and Newcastle. So, sure of that, I'm sure a lot of people would take Mohamed Kudus. Arsenal given slim to no chance of signing very unsettled Serie A star in January. We know we're not going for Vlahovic, but once again, we've been linked with Vlahovic, people. So for what it's worth, there you have it. Ben Jacobs has said it's actually Chelsea from a Premier League point of view making the inquiries at this point, and we know that they need a striker as well, which he's an out-and-out forward, not really the false nines and that, even though aren't they getting Nkunku in that next summer. But I think everybody chasing Vlahovic needs to understand, is January possible first and foremost, and then if it isn't, what do they need to do to persuade him to move to the Premier League in January? And what can clubs learn from Arsenal's situation? And also, what is his injury situation? Because right now, if you get him in January, he's got a groin problem that is still under investigation. But Chelsea are looking a bit more serious at him, and obviously a number of other strikers because of the Broja situation, people. We'll have to see what's going on. Dean Jones of Give Me Sport has said, I'm still told the chances of getting Vlahovic in this window are slim to no chance. But at the end of the season, if Arsenal maintain this kind of form, they'll be capable of pretty much anything in the transfer market. Juventus are very unsettled at the moment, and I think there's a very real chance top talent will be available from them in the summer. So draw whatever conclusions you wish there. Once again, we were linked with Lozano, people. Cesc Fabregas returns to Arsenal as he works with under-18s boss Jack Wilshere and takes first steps towards management. For a variety of reasons, Cesc Fabregas, in my opinion, will be a great manager. You know, he's played under Pep, he's played under Alex Ferguson. He's also, man said Alex Ferguson, he's tried to fight him. He's played under Pep, he's played under Wenger, you know, he's played under Conte. You know, he's lived in a rich amount of clubs in terms of culture. He's played technically in Monaco. I think he's technically in Italy. Obviously, he's from La Masia. He came up under Arsene Wenger. Also, just the way he is as a footballer, his tactical mind, the way he talks about football is very much Pep Guardiola-y and Arteta-ish and all of those sort of things, people. So I do think he'll return as a manager. Who knows? He might return. The former captain might return to manage our club one day. You know, he's still currently playing. He's clearly just trying to, you know, have his coaching development. So he's clearly had some time off to spend some time with Arsenal, and the doors will be always open from him. The wounds are probably healed now from him playing for Chelsea, and also his exit from Arsenal as well, people. He's been working alongside old teammate and current Arsenal under-18s coach Jack Wilshere, people. So there you have it. He's still currently under contract with second division Italian side Como. He's made 9 assists this season. And obviously every dog has their day. It's probably time for his career to wind down. And the 35-year-old has to think about the next steps in his life, people. So you have to read what you can. Allegedly, Mikel Arteta will get to vent his fury over scandalous refereeing of Arsenal with new PGMOL boss Howard Webb to meet every Premier League boss face-to-face this month on a tour of 20 clubs. How we didn't get a penalty, how Saka didn't get a penalty against Aston Villa, how we didn't get a penalty against Newcastle, I don't know. Arteta, get as angry as you could, but I find more peace in my heart trying to control the variables that we can. Yes, we should have had a penalty against Newcastle, and I do think a draw was a fair result, but on the balance of things, we probably deserve to take more from it. But apart from those 1 or 2 minute flashpoints for the 2 penalties, what did we do across the whole 80 minutes to really break down a compact, low block best defensive record side in currently in the Prem in Newcastle. We didn't, you know, and I do think to a degree they even out. There's been favourable decisions that refs haven't got onto us for. There's been, you know, things we've got away with, but it is what it is, people. I do think they are kind of all balanced out. The referees or the Premier League, they want the entertainment package of the same incident happening in 2 games and it being 2 different outcomes. They just want talking points. So I don't know if you should read anything into that, people, but that's for what it's worth. Where the transfer news is concerned, obviously Kudus, Lozano, Vlahovic, Mudryk, Declan Rice, etc. We've spoken about all of them. Any other transfer news, people, I'll be reactive and get the videos out for you. In terms of other content today, people, from myself, which is a Thursday, as you can see in the graphic below, we're watching Chelsea versus Man City. I'll be live 10 minutes before kickoff. Appreciate all the support you give my platform, people. Appreciative of the channel. Together we've amassed. Make sure you're following on all the socials, you're commenting, you're liking, you're subscribing, you're turning on, you know, your notification bell. Most importantly, stay blessed, stay safe, stay in good health. I hope you'll have a great week and we'll link up again soon.
So it's always just that active red light defending. I think it's like